Scientists at UC San Diego gear up for a daily procedure, placing petri dishes filled with tiny brains into a refrigerator. Biologist Dr. Allison Motri and his team are developing these organoids for a voyage.
It's the first time where brain organoids derived from stem cells would be sent to space. Yeah.
These brain organoids and others from researchers around the country are destined for the International Space Station.
And liftoff.
Scheduled for departure the day after the 50th anniversary of the Apollo mission to the moon.
Here, men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969.
And just as NASA is doing, Motri is thinking about long-term human spaceflight, Mars and beyond.
We're going to have humans colonizing other planets or living in the moon. So we need to understand better what's the impact of microgravity on physiology of different systems in the body. We have been focusing the brain because the brain is quite important for you to keep your body functioning. So this mission has one of the goals to understand the impact of microgravity on human neurodevelopment.
Motri says these globs of tissue mimic genetically and architecturally an actual brain. They were made in space conditions and will be kept in a mini lab to control their environment. The only difference will be gravity, or lack thereof. Motri says he's hoping to see how microgravity impacts the brain tissue. For example, he says there might be accelerated aging of the cells. But stem cells generally aren't new to space, and there have already been studies on the human body in space in other ways.
So I have not come back to my Earth height yet. I grew 2 feet, and my brother is 3'6", and now I can rub his head. It's very fun for me. But actually, so I stretched 1.5 inches, and there was this talk that I grew 2 inches. I just stretched.
Retired astronaut Scott Kelly and his twin brother Mark Kelly are part of the NASA Twin Study. While Scott Kelly spent nearly a year in space, his brother stayed on Earth. NASA has been studying them to see how space conditions impact the body.
I kind of had flu-like symptoms for a few days. Had I not been in space for a year and I knew what this was, I would have gone to the emergency room and said, hey, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm not feeling that great. But that's why we do this. I mean, we need to learn these things if we're going to go to Mars.
And Kelly says there's a lot we need to learn before a safe manned space mission to Mars can happen. Some of that needed research is coming from UC San Diego. UCSD physiologist Alan Hargens vacuums out all the air from an exercise machine, while another health sciences researcher, Brenda Rana, is strapped into it. This type of device could help astronauts maintain blood balance in microgravity by sucking fluids to their feet, says Hargens.
When people do things in space, it takes a long time for them to do it as compared to on Earth. Part of that is because of the loss of gravity, but we think the other part is maybe to lower or altered blood flow through the brain.
Hargens and Rana both worked on the NASA Twin Study. NASA revealed some initial findings in April, showing, for example, changes in Scott Kelly's gut bacteria. Rana says researchers are now looking at urine and blood samples to see impacts on Kelly's body at the molecular level. But she says there are still some limitations to these findings when studying a whole person and not the tissue.
These whole organ studies in space, they're really important for NASA. They provide a way to control the environment and just kind of home in on the specific environment of space, microgravity, radiation, and what that does to the organ itself.
Though organs don't work in isolation, she says.
It's important for us to do both studies and, at the cellular level, at the tissue level, at the organ level, at the whole organism level, and put all that information together.
Rana says scientific research coming from places like UC San Diego and nationally can help NASA get closer to a major goal, a safe human expedition to Mars.
I would love for that to happen in my lifetime because I'd love to go and visit Mars.
If all goes well and weather permits, Dr. Motri's brain organoids will lift off on Sunday. Shalina Chatlani, KPBS News.